The Slayers, Fox Kids Edition. The animated series The Slayers originally aired between 1995 and 1998, but in 2001 was acquired by Fox Kids for airing in the United States. Cartoon Network was also apparently vying for the rights to the series, but obviously lost out to Fox. However, due to Fox Kids targeting a younger audience with its programming, if the name didn't give it away, the voice actors had to re-record lines, and inferentially we can imagine other forms of censorship happening. It's confirmed that Lisa Ortiz re-recorded several lines, with one notable example being to remove a reference to blood. It's unknown how extensive these redubs were, and since Fox Kids never actually aired The Slayers, these redubs are lost. Sonic Synergy. The kind of obscure story of the beginning of what became Sonic Boom resulted in a piece of lost media that we will likely never see. Initially called Sonic Synergy, this prototype eventually became the 2014 Wii U game Sonic Boom, a critically panned mess of a video game whose tie-in animated series was not a tie-in at all at first, with the two being separate ideas that were merged into one sub-franchise. Within the Synergy prototype, we can see the seeds of what eventually became Sonic Boom's downfall, and why it ended up becoming such a terrible game. As it was planned to be a multi-platform release, the fact that it ended up on the least powerful system possible and was only barely able to run on it should tell you about the lack of success during development. There was also a planned multiplayer battle mode and a more serious story, neither of which was present in the final game. Eventually, the Sonic Boom aesthetic was slapped onto the game in a last-ditch attempt to save some kind of aspect of its branding, and as a result, the standalone original builds are lost.
Birth control?
Dad, you're living in the dark ages.
Father caught in two worlds.
I'm 15 years old.
You're 15 years young.
Trying to understand.
You blew it, Dad.
Becoming a family.
I don't know what the rules are, Robin.
Heart of the City, followed by Spencer returning Saturday.
Heart of the City. This rather forgettable crime drama aired on ABC in 1986 and 87. The only sort of notable thing about it is that it featured Christina Applegate before her notable role on Married with Children. This story goes that Wes Kennedy is a cop whose wife was murdered, and so he tries to spend time with his two children. An interesting premise, but its execution must have lacked something, because the concept only got 13 episodes before cancellation. None of those episodes can be found in their entirety either, as only bits and pieces of clips can be seen in some promotional material floating around.
Isn't that cute? But it's wrong! Wrong! Still wrong!
Two Stupid Dogs bumpers. The Hanna-Barbera cartoon Two Stupid Dogs aired on TBS originally in the 1990s, and was not only a series, but also came on as a set of bumpers on TBS. The small piano skit, known for being a rather iconic moment of Two Stupid Dogs, is actually a part of this set. What's unknown to most people is that that clip is one of many bumpers, all of which, except it, are lost. Those shorts' airing history is pretty mysterious, and because of this, tracking down the rest has been proven to be a rather difficult task. There's believed to be at least two others, and their whereabouts are unknown. I Wish You Well. The longer this series goes on, the less I expect pieces of lost media I covered in early episodes to become found. I Wish You Well is a rare case of that happening, though. Notoriously, Imagine Dragons' early music can be difficult to come across, and one of those songs with that property was I Wish You Well. A song that was available in some forms, such as a high-quality 50-second snippet, or a barely audible black and white 240p live performance video. Existence of either of these would not, in most people's opinion, qualify the song as found, but it was all we had for a while, until December of last year when an anonymous user found a full version of the song. I say a full version and not the full version because it's not taken from the same recording as the 50-second clip, but at least it is a high-quality version of the song, meaning the song can be considered found, even if the recording the 50-second clip was taken from is still lost. Grand Theft Auto V Wii U version. What's wild about Grand Theft Auto V is that it's still the most recent one as we speak in 2025, even with it releasing in 2013. And with that fact, it's well known that GTA V released for just about every single piece of hardware that's been around in that span. Notably excluded from the list is the Wii U, but that wasn't from lack of plans to release for the system. There was apparently an early prototype of the game for the Wii U. Early interviews with Rockstar's vice president implied a release for PC and Wii U was in the cards, but after the game had already released for PS3 and Xbox 360. Even Reggie himself was optimistic about it at the time, but while a PC release for GTA V did eventually happen, a Wii U release never did. This is possibly due to Rockstar trying to get it to run on Wii U hardware and failing, or simply lack of profitability. Whatever the reason, no playable versions have leaked, not even footage of one. Drawn Together pilot. Inspired by reality TV, Drawn Together was a show about spoofs of various cartoon characters living under one roof, and the conflicts that ensue. In episode 41, I talked about that show's pilot that had a lot of information unavailable, and no moving footage being seen anywhere. It was never released in any home media form, and it wasn't really acknowledged that much after the series ended and the movie released. Apparently the people that produced the pilot weren't very fond of it, resulting in it being kept under wraps for a long time. Recently, a YouTube user found the lost pilot, but not just any YouTuber, it was actually one of the co-creators. And so, if you've ever wondered what Drawn Together was like before it was truly a show, there you go. Pop Clips. Before MTV, in the early 80s, there was Pop Clips, a Nickelodeon TV series that aired nothing but music videos and host segments. Different hosts would appear in different episodes, with one notable one being Howie Mandel, actually. Despite music videos being a relatively new thing, they were able to get 56 episodes out of the concept, paving the way for MTV to do a very similar thing and have lots of success, only 4 months after Pop Clips ended. This significance is lost on many people, however, as no full episodes survive to this day, and host segments are extremely hard to find, with only 2 clips surfacing. Though lots of the music videos featured are still able to be watched, since they are just music videos, but their way of being presented is mostly gone, unless some savvy collectors are hiding things out there. Dumbo 2. All the way in 2001, 60 years after the original aired, Dumbo was planned to get a sequel, called Dumbo 2, likely to be one of the direct-to-DVD sequels Disney pumped out a lot at the time. The story was to take place one day after the events of the first movie, where Dumbo and a bunch of other baby animals separate from the circus and must find their way back. There seemed to be a lot of thought put into the premise at least, with each baby animal representing a different stage of childhood development. The film was cancelled, and despite its cancellation, there was a trailer made for the film that showed behind-the-scenes development from what seemed to be an enthusiastic crew. Family Guy pilot. Before it began in 1999, Family Guy started as a 1998 pitch pilot, and was before that Larry and Steve, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're talking about the pitch pilot today, as I originally did in episode 8. At the time, what we knew about the pitch pilot was that it had a similar plot to the actual first episode, Death Has a Shadow, which isn't very surprising, a lot of shows do that. But the actual pilot is 15 minutes and change long, with only 7 minutes of it airing on Fox before being cut off. Those last 8 or so minutes had been lost for many years until recently, when it was found on a crew member's website, where it had been since 2022 actually. So now the entire pilot is found if you ever wanted to compare it to the actual Death Has a Shadow.